Hello there. Hope you are doing well. So here we have one of the text and the directions for the text. There is a passage below is accompanied by a set of questions. We need to choose the best answer to each question. What I assume that you must have read this text to get the basic idea out of the text. Yet I would like to give you some of the main ideas out of this text. So what does this text point out? It is stated about the work Perilethon on stones by Theophrastus, a student of Aristotle, remain authoritative for millennia. Okay, so if you look into that, the text uh, does what? Traces the historical development of geological thought, highlighting key figures and their contributions. So, what does it try to do? It tries to indicate about the um, historical development of what? Historical development uh, of historical development of you can say that geological thought, uh, and also you can talk about highlighting key figures and their contributions. It begins with Theophrastus' work, Theophrastus' work, uh, Perilethon, so which is appointed the work Perilethon by Theophrastus, and then after it is stated about which dominated classical antiquity and the early Middle Ages, particularly in interpreting what that's called as a puzzles, right? Particularly in the means you can say that um, early Middle Ages, or particularly in interpreting puzzles. Pliny the Elder in the Roman period made important contribution to, you can say that, um, uh, you can say that mineralogy, and identified the origin of amber as fossilized region. Right. The transition from classical ideas to the medieval Islamic world is noted with Abu al-Rahan, al-Biruni, and Ibn Sina making early geological contributions, isn't it? So it is also said that Ibn Sina a significant contribution to geology and the natural sciences, along with other natural philosophers such as Ikwan al-Zafa and many others. Right. So, uh, Avicenna's theories, including the Succus lapidificatus, right? So, which is appointed here, and then after it is also said gained prominence in the late Middle Ages, influencing later concepts like the law of superposition, right? So Avicenna's. So we are talking about that Avicenna's theories or scientific methodology. So which is nothing but an essential part of modern geological investigation. In China, the polymaths and Kua formulated a hypothesis. Fossil animal cells in a geological stratum in a mountain hundreds of miles from the ocean, right? So, um, in that case, it influencing later concepts like the law of superposition, catastrophism, and uniformitarianism. The text also mentions about what that called as a James Horton. James Horton, um, James Horton's theory of the earth in the 18th century. And also you can say that Shen Kua, Shen Kua, Shen Kua's hypothesis on land formation based on fossil observation in China, isn't it? Shenkua's right observation of fossil animal cells in a geological stratum. So, what is the main idea of this text is? The text main idea is called as a Theophrastus Perilethon, remained authoritative for centuries, shaping classical antiquity and the early Middle Ages. Pliny the Elder's extensive discussion in the Roman period contributed to mineralogy and crystallography, including the identification of amber's origin. The transition to the medieval Islamic world saw contributions from figures like Al-Biruni and Ibn Sina, who wrote on the geology of India and made significant contribution to mineral. Uh, After that, we talk about Avicenna's, right? So theories such as the Socrates Lapidus became influential in the late Middle Ages and contributed to concepts like the law of superposition and catastrophism. So the next point you can get also the theory of the earth by James Hutton in the 18th century, right? So yeah, so 18th century, James Hutton in the 18th century, right? For the developed geological ideas in Europe. And then you talk about Shen Kuan, right? Shen Kuan in China, right? So formulated a hypothesis on land formation based on fossil observation, isn't it? Fossil observation. Okay. So if I talk about the tone of the text, so what is that? The tone of the text is nothing but informative one, informative, and you can talk about that historical, informative, historical, uh, and presenting a chronological account of key developments in geological thought. The text accepts the contributions of various scholars across different periods and regions. If I talk about the style of the passage is, you can say that scholarly and factual, scholarly and factual, providing concise information about the contribution of each figure and the evolution of geological ideas. The text uses a chronological structure uh, to present the historical development of geological thought. Okay, so um, if I talk about the argument of the text is what that geological thought has evolved over time through the contribution of um, various scholars, right, from different areas. The text emphasizes the importance of what Perry Lethan, which is given at the first sentence. Um, and stated about nothing but Perilethan's contribution from Roman and Islamic scholars and the lasting impact of theories like Avicenna's on later geological concept. Uh, you can also say that it illustrates the progression of ideas from classical antiquity to the medieval Islamic world and eventually to Europe in the 18th century. So these are the couple of arguments that you find out. Now, on the basis of that, we draw one question. What is that? What is underlying assumption? So now it is an assumption-based question. So what is the underlying assumption in the statement about Pliny the Elder identifying the origin of amber? Now, if you look at the options, so what do we find out? It is stated about Pliny. Pliny the Elder was an entomologist. So the second one stated that uh, Pliny the Elder was the first person to identify the origin of amber. Then third one, amber is a material with insects trapped with it. So, and fourth one is known as a Pliny's observation of insects and amber were significant for his time. Now, let's analyze each of the options carefully. So, if I look at the option one, Pliny the Elder was entomologist, it implies that Pliny had expertise in the study of insects, but it is not necessary for the, you can say that assumptions, isn't it? So, his identification of amber's origin is not even, you can say that contingent on being an entomologist. We are interested in the importance of its observation related to amber, right? So we need to find out that we need to find out that a specific observation related to amber, not his specific field of expertise. So hence we can eliminate the option one. uh, Now, look into the option two. What does it say? Pliny the Elder was the first person to identify the origin of amber. So, this option two suggests that Pliny was the first to make its identification, right? But there is no information. So, in that case, no information in the passage indicating that this is a necessary assumption. So it is not critical that he was the first. What is important is that he did make the identification, right? So uh, in that case, we can eliminate the option 2, right, on the basis of the distortion. Option 3 stated amber is a material with insects trapped within it. So option 3 is about the properties of amber, not about, uh, it's about the properties, right? Properties of amber, properties of amber, but not about that Pliny's observation. There is no requirement for this assumption in the statement about Pliny's work. So hence, option 3 is also eliminated. Look at the option 4 where it is stated Pliny's observation of insect in amber were significant for his time. So in that case, option 4 beautifully addresses the significance of Pliny's observation. It is the correct choice because the underlying assumption is that. What is that? Now, Pliny's observation were significant, otherwise, they would not be mentioned in the passage. Right? Uh, Observation of insect in amber were significant for his time. So, hence, the correct choice is what? Option 4. So, hope you understood the question as well as the answer pertaining to it.